Sorry, I'm not able to plug in as early as I would have liked, and I hope you can um, accept my apology about that. I was trying to get things done as early as possible, but there were some hiccups, which essentially have delayed my beginning of the stream. Regardless, let's get started. So this is the 24-hour AI hackathon, and we're going to craft and launch our own custom GPTs. So now, what are custom GPTs? I would like you to take a peek at some of the resources that I've already shared on the event page, and if you aren't following the event, I would urge you to uh, do follow that event because it is very useful. It also gives you a very good idea of all of the different options that are available to you. So GPTs are essentially something that are available for ChatGPT Plus users. So if you're a ChatGPT Plus user, you can access other people's GPTs as well as build your own GPTs. In case you do not have your own subscription for ChatGPT, there are other ways of accessing and building out custom GPTs using a library called OpenGPT by LangChain team. And obviously, it's an open source library, so there's a lot of people working on it, and it is um, much more robust than most of the tools. What you would find is that there are chances of you requiring to understand a little bit of code because LangChain is, after all, a code-based tool. Although, if you are trying to build custom GPTs right out of the box as a ChatGPT Plus user, you're good. It's a completely no-code, uh, very simple, very intuitive process of trying to build custom GPTs. As we dive in, we will probably see all that is mostly required is prompting skills, having the ability to figure out what is the problem you're trying to solve, and creating very niche things. So, for example, I'm going to take the example of meetups. So, as a person who's organizing a lot of meetups for generative AI, what I have found is I want to write event descriptions. I also want to be able to create and foster community. So, there are a few different places in which I would like to see myself create these tools such that they're specifically addressing needs. So, for example, when I'm creating events, I need a way to be able to write the description. Now, I also find it that it's much more intuitive and quicker for me to write up a robust, very impactful event description using ChatGPT. But to enable that, there are certain prompting techniques and certain uh, use cases that are possible if you're using just ChatGPT out of the box. Although, if you want to make it much more simpler and keep on iterating without trying to prompt like hey, act as like a social media influencer or whatever XYZ, which you would have had to input in the context window within your initial message or add as a system message, it still is a level of friction which is taken away by creating your own custom GPT. So your custom GPTs can be uh, aimed towards a particular niche. Specifically, let's say I am trying to create events on Meetup, right? So taking the example of Meet, I need the event description. I need an image. I also need to be able to uh, introduce the guests and speakers. So there are like three different buckets that I'm currently going to put this in just to make the idea more consumable. So the first bucket is writing event descriptions. Now I can combine these three into a single custom GPT, but it is trying to do too many things at the same time, and that could eventually lead to subpar outputs. And to improve the output, what I'm going to do is break these into the three separate boxes that I've mentioned. So the first box will essentially be just the event description writer, right? So this box will just help you write event descriptions. The next box is just for the images. So you can take the event description, plug it into this event, the image generator, and then just get images based on that description. You can obviously add your thoughts and inputs, but both the system messages can be different now. If I combine these two, I have the same system message, which could result in not as optimized an output as I would have liked. And the last bucket, again, I'm drawing a blank right now just because there's so many people and I'm feeling a little bit put on this plate. But I'm in a coffee shop in the middle of Japan, so I am going to have to accept this and move forward. So, okay. So the first was writing an event description. The second was creating images, and the third is essentially, just like a small blurb to introduce the speakers at a particular event. So, like we recently held an event where we spoke about synthetic data, and we had a brilliant person, Mr. Sandeep Giri, who came on and explained how we can use synthetic data to train and fine-tune models to give us better results across the generative AI applications that we are currently seeing in industry. There are a lot of ethical and privacy biases that are related to using, other people's user-generated data, so like the internet data that we people have been using, like OpenAI and others. I think there are better ways to do it, and that is why we held that session. So again, not to digress, but ideally, one box to write the event description, another box to create an image, and another GPT, custom GPT, to be able to write a small YouTube script, or rather a script which can be used in a live stream, so that you can introduce the guest as well as an outro, so you can exit and close that particular session. So what I'm going to do is just put into these three boxes, right? Just for now, just for the sake of understanding how we would go about it. So what I would like you to do is think about what is the problem you're trying to solve. Then break it down into chunks. Some chunks might be able to go together, right? Like, so for example, in the last chunk that we were talking about, where we are writing the YouTube script, the intro and the outro, although they are two separate things, they can be they can come together in the same piece because they are, after all, the system message for the both of those use cases does not really change, as was as the system message for image creation, and the system message for the description writing would change or could change. So what I would like you to do is think about what is the problem you're trying to solve, then think about the different buckets within that problem. Some of them can go together, some of them might not, and might need like its own custom GPT. And you can then go on to the next steps as I will outline them as we go through this, and pick it up from there. So I'm going to take a quick break and then join in like a couple of it, just to make sure that we are streaming correctly and